happy TV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salute. Talk.
Yes, family, and welcome back to yet another very important segment where they can through the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kabo, and today we can analyze some of the massive corruption where the Africanist Press don't release, don't expose, don't write about the Maada regime. What mean for we to take up on this, I feel say now a moral obligation, a duty of every citizen of Salon, we want to see we country go before for make it put more usayi money day. The taxpayers' money, now me it's money, the tax what they pay, the business what they do, all of those stuff and the resources where the government they collect in the name of Sierra Leone, now we all money. Now, when we see some of the thing there where Africanist Press release the huge amount of money we got missing, where all or where not appropriate for clearly, where governments no give account clearly, where now the standard practice, now the financial discipline, and when the government then have power, if for make sure say it account for each and every penny where they use. Why? Because now public money. Public money, not your personal money. Public money, if forget accountability. Public money, if forget transparency, or for know who side this money come out, why then take this money, how they use it, and waiting na the to what they use them for, and we need for know all of those steps. Now that make them be set up different entities and different institutions, and the likes of the Auditor General. The role of the Auditor General now for curb, now for reduce, now for advise, now for warn how we for use public money for let we get the best value of the money. But we see of lately, particularly this first 4 years, almost 5 years, the Auditor General not in the good books of President Bio, and we don't see the conflict of interest, the personal interest, and the reality, and the contract we sign between the presidents and we, because government na a social contract between you as a government and the electorate, the people that will vote you. You get obligation, responsibility for do justice and for handle the resources, the small resources we're gonna country judiciously in the most appropriate manner where we able to get the value for money. Now, we don't see a pattern don't they take place, particularly in this regime, wherein we see for the first time in the history of the country, we get a president where don't travel more than 150 times. One of the questions where a lot of people be they ask, is it not a kind of racketeering, or maybe a kind of money laundering, or maybe a kind of just a way for loot state resources? Now, for answer this, you can see some of this evidence, because if you claim say yes, you travel for the goodness of for the end, for go attract investors, we need to see the tangible proof. We need to see the people where they come. We don't get problem. Let's say, for example, the president travel 500 times. Even if not 500 times the president travel, where you get right constitutionally, we're not to waste the waste or not to eat an agenda. If the president travel 500 times, each of those travel equal to one investor, believe me, we go campaign for let the president continue for travel, because we know so where the part travel, each return, we get one or two investors who they come. The country they go before, the young man they get job, taxes then go be paid now the country, things then go before, government they collect tax, government go get resources and go take care of the basic necessities and then go support schools and then go support road infrastructure, then go support light. Now that make we encourage the government for make, then go out there. But when we see this pattern of this government, what do we see? Now the reverse. The presidents don't travel more than 150 times. We not see nothing substantial, nothing, absolutely nothing where you go point say this now the travel line don't pay. Well, perhaps the two way go more now you pass all. Now the amount of money where the government don't use. Now, Africanist Press, we all know now an institution. This is not a group of journalists then where they try to do they do that investigative journalism, trying to get facts and put them to people there. But the work of Africanist Press is limited in the sense that they not get a big platform, they not get a big audience. And I believe saying that the responsibility of each and every Sierra Leonean there, whether you get 2,000 people who listen or 500 people who listen or 1,000, no, we join together, because the fight of Africanist Press, na national fight, na clarion call for you all, for we come together. Because if we not come together, we just set mouth. Believe me, now we suffer. The little and nothing what we get as a country, now in the drain so back. I can show now some of the figures there, where they go step by step and see the amount where Africanist Press successfully investigate and reveal. But that just bring me a colleague now. You go start going to this people. Let introduce himself quickly to the people. You say hi to the people that are listening.
Yeah, Fambulem. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. Depends to who side they get to. Me, a brother again, and Kamara from.
You get me?
Yeah. They get you loud and clear. Hello?
Yeah, go greet people out there listening.
Yeah, Fambule, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, wherever they get to from. This now our brother again, Andrew Kamara from Sweden.
All right. Okay. We will come back one of our colleague, Mr. Yusuf Kano. Himself will greet people we why here for the first time na Talking Point platform. Mr. Yusuf, if you there anyway, you go greet the people who they listen you. All right. Now, I'll come to you quickly. When it comes to this massive corruption where Africanist Press don't unveil. Now, if you look at our let's share the screen, let people and see. Let not just faces on ten, let people and not someone not just misunderstand her. Say, let's share them for now. Wait. Okay. Family, now the money this. You see, when they see this now the massive Sierra Leone president. Let her read and let people and see. Sierra Leone president, Mr. Andrew, you go take him up from that level there. What you see, you go and follow throw light a little bit about that particular figure we see how that money therefore translates into in terms of economic activities, in terms of road infrastructure, in terms of electricity, in terms of even the school and the school the free quality education where the president say they pursue, how that one they for benefit, given the fact that teachers are right and not get paid, some teachers or some part of the country are not get paid, and some beginning and not able to continue for go school. Because I mean the environment where they sit themselves not conducive. I walk with through, but look at the money. Tell the people that how much money. What we see under now 71.4 billion. How what do you take on these findings? This shocking revelation.
Yeah, fumble them. When you get leadership, this it gets for do with not just governance, it gets for do with the workplace leadership. You home, if you get a leadership way, not they hold on to it values them, then definitely you always get this kind of result where this is today. There's one saying which says it is not a man's position that makes him great, but his consistency in upholding his promises, in dignifying his values. That one did make you great as human being. Far back in 2016-17, down to 18, we see a whole lot of talks around social media and even back home in the salon where this very President Bio, been condemned the predecessor, EBK government, say they fly too much, spend recklessly on a presidential per diem, you get a bloated amount of people where they travel with encounter and say very uneconomic. It not be the transcend to the development trajectory of the country, but today, when this president come, he puts together in continuous travelings across the world. You see, say the president has traveled more than President Mahama of Ghana, put together President Muhammad Buhari of Nigeria. And this way, the Africanist Press just compiled for we one for say kudos to Ram. This is a good one, and it's a laudable effort just for ensure say we continue for enlightening Sierra Leoneans them on the issues that we get for do with governance and the repeated, constant, broad daylight what we will see that our country today. If just on this amount of money we see so that this scribble Mr. Kagbo share 771 billion, sorry. That alone enough for fix the electricity problem. There are a lot of places in a salon. If I say they talk now, I know see some parts in Africa, they blackout. They blackout because of this. You go able to understand, say again, you get still places in other country the way belle woman in the born, or then they dip on belly, then they die. Within the process, whether they carry them from one point to the other for go born. So maybe whether they go clinic, they walk at 5, 10, 15 miles, 20 miles, far distances. School picking and they go school. And in the process that they drop out, tot belly. Because the schools where they work every day from the home them to the schools them, the distance is very long. Very long. Imagine for let you walk for 15 good miles, 15 miles apart. A very disturbing and uncalled for. But that's all they happen because you get a government where constantly they betray the people and trust. They betray the people and trust with the kind promises that they do. They betray the people and trust. We then can't tell what they see at the screen. Because if you, on your campaign manifesto and on presidential debate to them, behold, 2018, you make a whole lot of promises. Say, I go able to fix this. In 6 months, I will give a very quick fix to the economy. But all of a sudden, what we see, a bloody light robbery from state coffers. In fact, most of these these are the first that we see the president, they force a bill in the parliament. So that way, he work out, nobody no go check him. I go travel and go I want and come back I want. Spend money recklessly. First in history. Why we not for check with government officials then? That's how you say there's recklessness in this very government, and then they continue for till we say we as a people not even useful. You know, useful because all what them promise we in the campaign, all able manifest. I don't see none. As I speak now, none able manifest because we get a government where they control the state affairs. We don't value the citizens and the country. Because if you get a leadership, we respect the citizens them. Then tell how they say, we know this year. We know this year. We know this year. You know they happen. We say Mr. Cabo there, na London, na UK. You know they happen. That Scandinavia, we say we there. You know they happen na Central Europe, na America, na Australia, na the Middle East. Then they try everything humanly possible for control them. Even at the sub-region, some countries, and the way they try very hard, fighting corruption, bringing it down. But if we continue for day in this form, definitely Salon go doom for real. Because at the end of the day, they continue forget this kind of result from people like this nature, President Bill, and we will continue forget this bloody light robbery in our country. And this alone in itself, it is disgraceful, shameful to even say the very least. So kindly again, my people, let we think wisely. We get 4 months to the polls. Ponder over this. It's very disturbing for make you as a Sierra Leonean the read them here. When I see the Africanist Press post, then kind of financial misappropriations from with consolidated account, I feel very sick, down to my stomach. I can't imagine this because you get a lot of people we even forget the daily bread, no problem. So they take weeks, but this man they take their money here, go lay down a luxury hotels them, take some side funding in private account, the offshore accounts them, that we get still Sierra Leoneans them, whether they die of maternal mortality rate, where they die of malnutrition, kashioko, a whole lot of things them. It plenty the list the endless. So now that no more for see Mr. Cabo for now. I know they get you. I know they get you. I know they get you.
Yeah, so family, if we say they get me clear now?
Yeah.
They get me now?
Yes, sir.
They get me now, eh?
Yes.
Okay. So family, if we say no more, we go in details for explain the amount of money where President Bio and UF take. We not talk about the ministers. This we not even mention the ministers. This would talk exclusively about the president and his wife. Now, according to the Africanist Press, say, la just bring something quick now, will shock me. He said the president and wife then jointly combined for take 71 billion. Well, when we talk about this not all the risk allowance, not all traveling allowance, not all then get what you call convenient funds, not to include the security apparel, because mind you, when the president they travel with entourage, and because of that insecurity. Now the responsibility of the country, because we don't want nothing to do for her, that I make president for travel, not a joke. For let you get a person who will just go up on net, say they go Dubai, they go Gambia, they go Guinea, they go America. Because then get for look at the president in security, then get for look at the south side go lodge, go just lodge any side, then get for look at what they eat, and get for look at the people who go surround, and get for look at the possibility we're going to that country, the Sierra Leoneans. So there is a huge chunk of money each time where the president they travel were in need for deal with. That I make every sober president, every sober-minded president with financially disciplined, they just travel like that. Because what it takes. But it seems as if we own now that mission then count on. Now, I deal with my colleagues again, most times. That's go on Rob Motor. Now bring we can Mr. Kanu, if you get me clearly. Now, Africanist Press don't release this damning report where it don't really shock Sierra Leoneans. Now, we all know how he had. We all know how he had for get money in the country. We see Sierra Leoneans then they go angry. We see Sierra Leoneans then today for let somebody just pull. Back then, now come on, thing. They say somebody, you go meet on the street, you greet you go get them 5,000-10,000. But this now, it don't they lost now the country. Everybody they cry triangleness. Why? Because now the same money where they for take, they involve for social services. For cushion the effect, like for example, for subsidize. Their money then they the government and the president and the wife, then they take them personalize. Apart from their salary, apart from the deals then, apart from the other contracts then, apart from the procurement then, where they get hands from, where each of those procurements will pass $1 million, the first lady you get hands day, the president get percentage day. You go on our Wataki, and just take the entire country, then personalize it. The entire country they under siege. That I make them they always say if somebody now then part of the world I would do so, go just grab one morning. You say they go be president, you go be prime minister, or they go be a minister. No, then get for check you, then get for vet you thoroughly. Why? Because they want to make sure say you clean. They want to make sure say the car for can drag. They want to make sure say at least you will fend yourself. President Bio don't see them more than 22 years. He not get job. So it look like this like a huge opportunity for him. When it come, the first way first do because of the mistake in the mistake where we do when he be there as head of state, 1996, he want corrector. Now that make concentrating attention entirely on even developing the small medium enterprises. The SM wherein this now the engine of growth for any country. Then small, then vocational training centers, them you create jobs by encouraging this part of then small joint here where they're really, really important for push the economy go before you pay attention then the youth then you encourage them, you motivate them, you create the enabling environment. And not say somebody go say government not go able to give everybody job. It's true. Not so government not go give everybody job. The role of government and for create the enabling environment for let attract more investors then. But however, we as a country, we get for able for export, we get for able for create, we get for able for produce. If we're not able to create and produce, believe me, we go suffer. The Leone go depreciate, like how they see so right now. One of the reasons we make the Leone they continue for depreciate now because we not got nothing tangible for export. Because when these governments come, one of the blunder then do, then can wipe out all the licenses where the previous government didn't do. They forget to say government not continuity. They just come overnight because you don't get power. You can't disband. You can't overturn all the contracts there. That one they self alone. It is send body made na the world. So Sierra Leoneans are not so people who they keep by their word. If you go, they go invest in that country there. When a new government come, then go take that particular agreement there. Then check. Now anyway, we can. There, wait on the wait in the room. Myself through then you wait on this topic. Let's bring the camp quickly, Mr. Bremer from the UK.
Hello.
They get to Mr. Bremer?
Yeah, they get to now, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I joined late. Me a newcomer, bruh, so I fall asleep. I just wake back now.
Yeah, we
Sorry.
understand that.
Okay.
You meet with just a deliberate on the massive corruption where not to the ministers and the president and where jointly they don't take more than 71 billion loans. How significant this particular money? What do you make up on this generally? Lord, just put us there. What's now you take on this huge amount of money? We just lost.
I know. When I see that report, the first thing I say to myself, I say, if this thing are not true, I say, then guy, they don't crack this country for just two people, then knock 71 billion. And this now, we think Komon-Tok do. We know they look at all waiting hide and all that. 71 billion go off the economy, a rotten economy like that already. So the guys, they can tell you that they just come for enrich themselves. They don't care about the people. They don't want to know about the people. They don't want to know about the suffering of the people. All they care about making money and enrich themselves. 71 billion, not to 71 million leons. Now, a lot of money. 71 billion, they do a lot of things in Sierra Leone. If you think about the level of poverty in that country, the people, they're not able to get a meal, a proper meal for a day, then a population of 8 point something million, then just two people, then go thief that kind of amount there. And I'm sure that they might thief more than that. But 71 billion, it's a lot of money for take from impoverishing economy like that. It means you don't crack the economy. Now you get me?
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would they get
Okay,
you?
so far, okay. All right. So far, let me take that one. We
Okay, Fambulen, this is shock every patriotic citizen, every Sierra Leonean will know how we country the struggle, and if you get it, it must shock you. For let just two people and take that kind of amount there, I feel say this you get forget special heart. What I mean special heart, you get forget the you get forget what is this, you get strong heart. You get strong heart. You know, for let you take them kind money, you get forget strong heart. And but all the talk over the talk now social media, but all the call they call the president, make it pay attention to the needs of the common man by not traveling rapidly, frequently. I mean, we first try the way the president begin travel, will be feel we able match up to his speed. Every time we travel, the canal will talk, but time begin canal every day, every 2-3 days. We not ever from a record, we not believe say the president don't ever sit down at the country. Apart from COVID time, complete 2 months. I don't know, I stand to be corrected, but I don't feel say we record permit that. But you know, it's shameful anyway. It really, really disgraceful. And this, I believe, the who said this, we are Sierra Leoneans and people were like the country for continue for sensitize with brothers and sisters there. Help other one there where they come up with them facts there because this now huge work Mr. Chernoh bad do so for go collect. And just like where Bremer Camera be talking, this now what's in the Africanist Press able get. There might be some hidden funds and we're not even including this report. This now something that make if you read this report, the man say averagely. Now, what you understand by average? La brinka, Mr. Andrew. When they say average, what's in they mean? Mr. Andrew. Okay. You get me?
Yeah, they get you.
Now you see Africanist and Mr. Chernoh say this na average. An average that not all na average. What Explain to we, but now we understand when they say average. Not to combine, like you get this, maybe taking 80,000 and 70,000, 90, you combine that, you get the average. Explain and so we understand, so that let you know so the money, if I probably exceed that, but for Lenamon we get a summary, a fine summary that I make Africanist Press say now 71.4 billion. Walk with you. What's in when it comes to accounting? What's in an average? So let it come man understand.
Well, I believe, say, for the layman's point of view, this not just a tip of waiting well you don't take in the form of presidential diems and all our expense system. Because if you look through from 2018 where this man can to this point, if you collect all the expense system, if Mr. Kagbo spend time, put all together, believe in me, Boku Sierra Leone is going nearly give up everything. Because if 71 billion has been taken from the consolidated fund, this not include hotel expenditures them. This not include other people them where they follow the president in the form of entourage. Some they didn't know they account for them. This not include, let's the president take from like I've been saying just now. The first in history you see the president they push hard. So let them not check them. Even go to parliament. Let them appeal. So let them not check.
You're right.
I don't know, because then they do things with impunity. I don't know if Abbas Bundu be approved that bill and all the parliamentarians there. You know,
not
so
go
like,
through.
So like even when the bill not go through, the president still repeatedly take from the consolidated coffers. So like what Mr. Abraham be said just now, this is shocking and it's shameful to even say the very least, because this money you go call them, everybody go call them, yeah, 71 billion, but this one enough for fix a whole lot of medical problems in the country. Like I've been telling you just now, but people and they will die of maternal mortality rate, beginning the way they born today, then die because of poor health system. The side me brother the day in the UK. From the day one where they get belly, so to the point where they born, you get proper checks. I mean routine checks. That then they force you even for let it go. For let them check you thoroughly, you that belly woman, you need for the under checks. But I mean medical checks. With medicines and everything. This 71 billion, it's just enough for fix the problems there. Now cannot. People are gonna cannot, then they die because we not get the kind of equipment them. I wonder even up to this point we get my machine that cannot. We not been get. I don't know if they don't fix and they now. So if just the president alone takes 71 billion, this not to all. This is just a tip. Like how they explain this pancreas. Now just a tip. Because if we say we collect everything, believe in me, some figure they will not be able to call them. Because huge. But yet still, you get people, they still celebrate this government, talk and do. Even just now see them abusing money, then they celebrate. Julius has been re-elected as a running mate. They celebrate. Continuously they celebrate at things the way they weigh the country down on a daily basis. Because we for suppose for Saba's voice, for the voice level, they keep quiet. And we not go time for the talk, then things are enlighten people. Because Salon deserve more than waiting me, you they think. That country they shrink. How long we go to continue for the Sidom and the ponder things where they happen? Now I've been asked what my friend one of these days. I say, they condemn, but what you don't do for change the narratives? What you don't do as a citizen for change the narratives? If you just sit down, now you corner, say, me then tell the happen, say, I tired. You go tired, but one day, me man, when you realize it's too late. That make me and Mr. Brahma or there, Mr. Kabo, constantly we they continue for all this government to their toes. Let we talk now, we say, okay, but we conscience them, and God, we don't have. Most importantly, Mr. Kabo. So now I want to say much, I just want to stop here for now. But believe in me, what you will see now this paper, now just a tip. More day for come out. Because as you say, the Africanist Press in publications, it says when they enter to election, it they produce more things the way hidden. You get for dig deep, for cow it the more. And if the more we continue for see, the more you go realize, see, all waiting and people they are being calm and fine-tuned in the form of a new direction. It's nothing more than misdirection. Government filled with a lot of anyampi and santiboki at them. We don't get no regard for the citizenry, no get no regard for the rule of law. Because if you value certain things, you know, say then tear away they do, then get for all the accountable, but not care. You know, business no go continue for be as usual at that country day. So that's number one for say for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So Fambule, yeah. Mr. Bremer, you are on kind side?
Yeah, for just translating Mr. Andrew the same. I just do a quick calculation or divide how much an answer would be 1 billion there into dollars. It's nearly $4 million. So let's assume, say you do business, you're not businessman. You start your business as ordinary Sierra Leonean with $10,000. You know we profit $4 million per year or 3 years. So I've seen the reason why they got in the deal for them at that position there. Because it's like a business. In that 4 year, you get this is one thing more than know. What you don't know when you talk about trouble. This is something more than know. $4 million. You make a profit of that. That is huge, man. And therefore reform that money they back. Therefore reform that money, therefore we reform the money again to we. That people's money, it's not their money, then therefore give me that money they back. We therefore hold them to account into that money, they then have to give it back. $4 million they build hospitals. $4 million they build Boko schools. $4 million they pay Boko teachers. So they pay not a 1 month payment first. 19 people then take. I see that as evil. Very evil. And that's not what I want to say. Just think the echo.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. So, Fambule, we got tap the program here. We will continue for come up with some of their exposure here, some of them damning reports here where we own brothers and sisters them now the country, the true patriots them. We really want to see the country move. Any exposure what we feel say is significant, important for Leona will counter. This is shock me. When I see this amount of money we lost, I say no matter what, even though we tire, we will come low with people and can understand and see the kind of people that we rule we. No wonder where the people and they no one go. They no one go. They no one go. They want continue no more for draining the country. And I believe it's in our moral obligation. This is our obligation to we all for let we continue for the app for support Sierra Leone. We now one of the ways we don't decide for support Sierra Leone. There are other ways what they do. We get more back for can do. But with this, I feel say we go continue with the service. So I turn up plenty thank you. Yes, Mr. Andrew, what thing will be your last word whilst we wrap up the program?
Yeah, me fumble them across the globe where they watch we, where they listen to we. This money where President Bill take from we, this $4 million as calculated by me brother Mr. Brima Kamara from UK. Let's just reiterate now, say now from January to December 2022.
Yeah.
Not to. So calculate. Let's say this now just per diem. Calculate 4 times 5. So just the per diem, President Bill don't thief $20 million from state coffers. Personally, in one grain. Not to the kickbacks them all. Not to the share the deals that they do in mining sectors them. Because I see one, I think, is it IIP or I see one share the company way for go operate now. Arise IIPS. Therefore go take over. Ask yourself as a citizen, you there in a salon. From where you come out university, you just there in a tower base, you don't get work. You don't try for send CV outside and then they take you for work. But the president and the wife confidently and the entourage, they thief 20 million just for traveling per diem. No wonder when the president don't get no food for Sidona Salon. They travel every day. So until why they talk so say we get a trip for come back overseas. So all thing there, if you think about us as a citizen, not to vote no more at the thing, but your conscience get for the up there. Because you get picking the way you don't born, and then picking and they say get for born. We get generations then for come, we get for pass. But before we pass, what thing you don't do for enough change, solid change in that country? What you don't do? Now all the time more you go continue for vote in terms of tribe or region, or because now yeah, I don't meet me daddy. I go continue for vote this party. Because now yeah, they don't born me. I go continue for vote this party. How the Bible says, shall we continue sinning until grace may abound? How long you go continue for them sin? So tell the world on. So tell the grace come. So tell the day of judgment come. No. As citizens, we therefore continue for all the governments them accountable. June 24, 2023, as I talk to you now, 4 months, a week plus days from this point, you go cast the vote. Waiting best you don't do. How you don't prepare yourself? Ask yourself. Because there was a time where President Bio Bintinap na Bintimani Hotel or the presidential debate, he said a whole lot of things them. Bounty promises the way make. How much of those promises the way don't accomplish? How much? Today they buy a bag of rice. Constantly they remind you about the day-to-day because now the bread and butter now they JJ Safabi they try for blindfold salon people them. They say when they come now the bread and butter and they can't fix. But you bread really don't butter. What really you don't achieve within this 5-year span of President Bio rule? What have you achieved? Nothing, absolutely. Me, where Sidona as a Sierra Leonean, I don't see nothing within God don't do. This part of the world we there, people they vote on policies. And UK, who said me brother a day. Inside this period, the president don't come in governance. Almost 4 prime ministers they don't pull so.
Yeah.
Now people they pull them. Not so Mr. Cap, but then they pull them because if they say you're incompetent, then they pull them. Boris Johnson then pull them because he lied. Simple lie. He lied.
Simple, yeah.
He lied. One of the ministers them, for his sake, I made them pull Boris Johnson. The guy be there on immoral act, you know. He get in your way of doing things. I don't want to go deep into that. The first interview, I talk one. The other time when go interview, I talk. If he say first na black, later I come, he say white, for example. So for just that simple lie, if na salon and go say bona common lie that one day, it no matter. People and then on social media they defend President Bio on a border light. Even when they defend, if you ask them from the morning 10 night, you know it's not himself. But you get the God for day na social media, they continue to defend President Bio, Fatima Bio in Peking, then on social media. They showcase pound sterling, millions of foreign currencies. You dey under, you Peking even for go for Bay College. You don't see to us, you don't get a good result in able enter. Because you get a government where continuously they disgrace the citizens them. We don't value you and me. So what to make are the goddamn examples there? If fine for make we forget about certain policies them and focus on the day-to-day happenings. That's salon. You day salon now, you buy a bag of rice, 650,000 to 700. But you get a government who be don't condemn say AP then government, the rest be too expensive for 180,000. But from the time when APC take over from President Ahmad Tijan Kaba, so till we go to 2018, rest come to 180,000. That's not the Jasmine rice. I'm not defending anybody here, but I go categorically tell you as an accountant, if you take them back to 2007 and bring them to the present, this government has done worse and even worse than the predecessors. You come, you condemn President Kuma. President Bio get the bold mind after August 10. A sit down on an international broadcaster. He's saying go for investors then. 4 of them are not come because of August 10. Are you kidding us?
Yeah.
How long this man will continue for take will play cook? How long it will continue for all Sierra Leoneans for granted? How long? They don't weigh we. Me and you, they don't wait we. Then see any side and put who for day. But we don't ready already for do everything humanly possible. It was only Joseph, then God be just spear. Even when brothers and be try for kill him. One thought come to one of the brothers say, no, Lord sell him as a slave. Let go suffer, did not say that. Now from that suffering land, that they God use them, they go redeem the people and back. So we, and you were to listen to this program, serve as the Joseph of Salon, go redeem your people and back. If you did Salon and prepare yourself, when, oh God, this June 24 coming, you don't get much for do. All what you need for do, just think calculatedly. Forget about tribe. We are all Sierra Leoneans. When you come overseas, if you travel go Guinea, say they're not going to ask you, say, which tribe you come from. And they ask you, where are you from? You go say, from Salon. And for that reason alone, just know, say, there is that umbilical cord which connects me and you together for the love of country and the nation. We are one people. Not allow nobody, because now the only tactics that the way Maada use, the tribal rhetorics, go to the southeast, talk to people them, where APC can have power, they go can kill all the mandate people them. In this 24th century, it's not possible. It's not possible. Someone come around wife na mende. And you get a whole lot of people. And when they talk to you now, my sister married to Mende man, and they born Pekin then. Mr. Cabo in family, he must get sister or brothers. We married Mende woman them. Or married Mende woman and come married to them. Gisi them, Konode. So I just want to make you understand, say, there's no way where we go able for change the narratives if we not focus on the issues there. The cost of living is nothing good to write home about, my brother, Mr. Cabo. Every day, things then they skyrocket, the prices then they go up, day in, day out. If you live now, bien Cambia for Freetown, you get for budget up to 100,000 or maybe more for transportation. If you did Kailau now, if they can't find you on cool, now Freetown, you don't get it for can't find them again. So like they don't put that kind of barrier between the people. Transportation, they go up. Few weeks ago, I think a day ago, the cost of fuel, they don't add back 1,500 on top. But now the same people, 2014, 15, they form a group what they call Renaissance Movement. Then they in a state house. Then they they protest just for 1,500 where they had from 2017 to 2014. It was only 2014 where price of fuel go up. Ben Kelfala, the current commissioner for corruption, he cheer up with this, a whole lot of them. And Maada be then along there, they spear them up. They send a lot of negative messages them. They were condemning the then government just for 1,500 that was added into the cost of fuel. They protested. And nobody was killed by then. Nobody was killed. But you and me go be a witness. August 10, people then take to the street because of the cost of living. It be so much. You feel say na APC people and be in a street no more. SLPP they go, they tell them say go party card for identify people and be in a CID, but all of them. Not to just APC people and be in a street. Not to just tame them, because the problem of Salon, they affect just a single region. Where prices then they go up, not to me no more, Mr. Cabo, Mr. Brahim, and now we all the rubber. There was a time again where the then SLPP publicity secretary, Honorable Musa Tambasam, it be the lead protest, na parliament they go protest. If they print t-shirts they again, but then they protest. But here come a time when people come into governance, when people take to street, they were shot, killed indiscriminately. Don't get me wrong, we know they condone killing of any nature. The security personnel that will die, but then soul rest in peace. We sympathize with the rest of the family. But one for tell you, say before the protest, we see videos there where SLPP still works. I mean, big guns and even President Bio in bodyguard and a state lodge. Then get videos there where they video themselves, they threaten people there. If you go on the street with a kill now, with a barbecue now, people are the all left and they all gone, they threaten people there. So tell me, if you go see killing on that day of the protest, how that killing people a day? It was premeditated. It was premeditated, my brothers and sisters. Think about all those things. The change we need now for we make a positive change, we go impact the rest of Salon. We go impact to picking them and generations yet unborn. Salone deserve better. And it is now or never. Think calculatedly. Then we vote this autocratic government out. They've got nothing to offer. All what they get now for come and divide the country. The divide where I don't see in a salon. I don't want this here from where I'm born. As a citizen, I don't want this here. Now history the week will beat. So I just want to stop here, Mr. Kagbo, and say, think you conscious.
Okay.
On June 24, 2023, vote something was sustainable. And I believe say that alone is embedded in not as a person, but Dr. Samuel Mati Wilson come in the mighty APC. Let them come back. Let me give them another chance. Yes, sir.
Okay. So time don't catch me now. We go just go through some of them texts here because this platform when I go be always small, we depend try for still put things in place. So I say we get with for call and for let us get to our voice is hard. We want ourselves talk. We believe so when I get something, when I know something that when I not thing that we know. So we want to get on the platform, let us go to talk. Whenever we can, when I say for call, put on now the wall, let people let us have benefits. Not so we know for talk on our benefits. We say one get the benefits of the knowledge on our get. Now we just take few and some text let Mr. Bremer just analyze them for we, and then we go for another program. Family, and not forget Sunday with the Kaya, because Sunday at the time where Dr. Samura they declare for lead the party back. So we definitely Kaya, and we go make that day a day on us go call. We will make a phone ink so on us get opportunity for to up na comment here. Somebody asked a question. This is coming from Bonnie Johnson. Mr. Bremer, he said, remember, he said changes, but no one asked him what kind of changes. I want to just throw quickly on this, though, because we want to take like 5 people and no more we wrap up the program. How interesting this text?
It's very interesting. When they talk about change, and they don't change we absolutely. They're not change we to the better, but to the worst. Honestly speaking, to the worst. If it's 2 people out of 8-point-something million people, which we just know now, we don't know waiting on past. Now $4 million they don't take out of that. So I can see the reason why then they kill people and where they talk. I can see the reason why then go kill people and where they demonstrate. And one thing about democracy, they will separate democracy and demonstration. They will separate democracy and participation. You cannot do that. As long as the democracy, people believe in a country, people get for talk. And how people they start for talk. I read one book many years ago, how to make issue a political. This guy, I don't remember the name of the author, but I Open University author. When he say the reason why they lead people there for demonstrate, then go don't try for voice themselves out, say this thing I wanna do, enough fine. This thing wanna do to way. People know, but wanna stop for thief this country money, wanna stop for do this, wanna stop. Then go don't talk, and which I know say a lot of people don't talk. We know some of we brothers and where they are the diaspora. Some then podium there every day. I like issue of this government, the thief, particularly the president. At some point, I think they tell me, I understand, say, we own president national, we don't travel past the queen in England. The queen we don't in power for 70 years. That man, the Indian don't want power for 4 years. It travel past them. But then I don't get the answer now. Why they travel? Because in travel where they travel, not business. In travel where they travel, now they change that way they talk about. So they can change and you don't change the country. With 4 million, if we used to don't know what you think, salon maybe day, waiting 4 million they do. It's a lot. Like I don't get evidence. Out of rumors no more. I don't get evidence for talker, but I will talk and speak. 4 million you will buy for the $1.2 million house now, London. Now go there's green area. You will buy that house day for them. Somebody get that kind of house day in England. You're not billionaire, you're not a rich person. Most people they work £50,000 per annum in England. Now rich person they take that. Let alone now somebody, one family, two people, two are yampy, two thief man there. This is the other thing for sugar coats. Now thief man them. 44 million. So now strategy you use when you talk about change, now your strategies for change. It pretend like they can't rule salon. Okay, me I'm not a thief, but I dey travel. This travel where they travel, I don't end up make $4 million inside 5 years. $4 million inside 5 years. That's if you get well, but if you don't get well, you not go pay again. We're not talking about that, you know. We just dey talk about this now in travel. This now one strategy no more use.
Yeah, so now we jump to the next text. Another person, okay, this person, in name is say always put God Almighty first before your family. This person is a Sierra Leoneans think before you vote for the right person as a president. Just a few seconds. How significant this text for continue for sensitize with people? How important this?
It's very important, Mr. Kago. With people in a salon that they celebrated people like Maada, they really thief and money. The culture over the years and they celebrate people with the thief. They feel a good thing, even though then they rob them. You know, government will build road safe. People they gladly. Government will build school safe. People go gladly. People not even know say now they own money that. Now the fucking money pull out from me pocket. So that mentality they don't there for generations. So it's a good thing that we're doing this. Let these people know say that money when them people have the travel with when they spend, when they go to when they say election campaign and say can and give people that no, it's not their money, it's our money. Now people their money, now taxpayer money. So let people believe and Mr. Andrew they talk earlier how we in the UK with the old we politicians accountable because the level of education is so high that everybody knows that money the government they spend not to their money now we own money, so if then they spend them they're not for spend them recklessly. They must ask you questions, and at that if we able the more we able get more people for asking people questions how you spend that money there, why you spend that money there, what make you spend that money there, you start to get answer the more things will change in that salon. But if you not get any people where they ask a question in the and you get used to them another political party where they celebrate them people, I see them as a role model. After you see thief man as a role model, a thief man a role model. Anyway, okay.
All right. So we will tell the last one. This one they come up from Bonnie Johnson. I don't know if you are the same person in name. Well, if you not the same person where you don't lucky, we not able to come up all with this. It's up to the people in Sierra Leone to vote. So technically, people like this, they look at, I don't know what you take. Yeah, it's true that, sorry, it's up to the Sierra Leoneans.
Mr. Campbell, it is true that it is up to the people of Sierra Leone to vote. You know, sometimes some people can sit down there and feel say within at the diaspora will probably think say we get sense past them or we know much past them. That is not the case. The only reason why we can talk all day because we are exposed to certain things that we know say and God creates human being. God not create white man. Say this white man better pass black man or black man better pass white man. No, God create human being. So what it fit for them people then it fits for we as well. The things then where we neglect in a salon. There's small things that way people celebrated in a salon. Now they cause we problem. When we see them, we ignore them, we say we're not for talk. We say because this man belongs to the tribe and for vote him because I'm the tribe they rule. Not based on because this man don't tell me say they can build Lunge Bridge and he fail, not be land. Because of that reason I know they vote him. Like how Mr. Andrew they talk earlier. What we kick we former prime minister because he lied. Just lied. The woman we can take over for her. He promised we say he can reduce the tax when he can able. He not able to do it. He shame, not shame. No. He resigned come out. Well, until we start to forget this mentality, Sierra Leone and Africa as a whole, otherwise we nation will go before. So because more and more people in the salon, we need for the talk to them. We need for the talk to them. More let them understand say that money, where them people are they spray, not to their own money, now we money, and we get right for talk about it, and we nobody not for kill we. Anybody kill we, they go face in the egg. That's it. Stop it now.
All right, so Famula will turn up plenty. Yeah, Pamela will turn up plenty. Thank you. Will not forget on Sunday with a kaya back. Sunday, officially, Dr. Samura Kamara, they go declare intention. They go ask in party, make them get the opportunity, make it lead them back, just like when they began the same opportunity 2018. And una go get the opportunity on that day for call. Very hopeful. We are hopeful. Let ourselves make una own voice heard. Until then, I turn up plenty. Thank you. So we go. Yes. Yes. Mr. Andrew, you go say bye to people then.
Fambulem, goodbye, and think about the words that way. Just don't come up for Mr. Cabo and Mr. Brimer, and from me, self with the talk to now. Think wisely and vote your conscience. No vote tribe or region. Till we meet again on Sunday. Bye for now.
All right, and we come to yes, Mr. Brian. I don't know if we go squeeze. Yeah, go ahead.
Family, una vote wisely.
Yeah.
Wisely, no vote by tribe, no vote for the right person, where they can change Salon for we. If it's Salon change, now for y'all, not for region, not for tribe, not for one person.
Yeah, not just quiz this last text here before now we how important this day where we get a lady Naya Princess Rosie where they say please Sierra Leonean, forget about parties, forget about tribes, and make a wise vote Bio's regime out. This man mean no good for Sierra Leonean. Thanks TPP Leon for this program. How important is text before we go by? Because some of these things we need for continue for sensitize with brothers and sisters about party business, about this regional brand, this regional curve, this regional clan. If you like, we don't get a special a bond where we not for break. You got to throw a light on this now. Then we say goodbye now.
Okay, Mr. Kambo, the reality is Salon. Me, I can always say we not get a regional divide. It's more of the politician, particularly this set of politicians, where they are power right now. I mean, they try to create this thing in terms of resources allocation. If you remember the last regime, the last government of Ernest Goldman, when it allocates resources, it makes sure say it allocate them all over the country. When me waste do I give, for example, me I don't apply for job now, Salon, not to one, not to 210. Me not get the job now. Somebody went now off SLPP, you take 9 get the job, and I'm happy with that because 9 get the job in Sierra Leone. But this particular government then make sure say, okay, like you wanted an example. I was lecturing at the University of Sierra Leone. Well, I've been there as associate lecturer. I applied for full-time job. Then we move with all names there when a Kamara Conte, this one particular guy they went a sheriff. Where I don't know whether the sheriff come up from the south or from the north. Could you believe say they pick phone and call and top mandate to for acts which are in common before they get a letter? They do that. Me, I see a first hand. So this is Sierra Leone of itself. Me, they talk to you, so me, mama, Mende, half of my family, Mende. So we self, we not get this divide. Now, these educated fools, this set of educated current fools, where they have power, now they decide to bring this mentality in us alone. And they don't make it worse and worse and worse. And we pray, let Dr. Samura we get something at take control of Sierra Leone. Otherwise, if any other person take control of Sierra Leone, a revenge will take place. And if a revenge take place, where will they be? That is the question I always ask. 70-80% during SFAPC government days, 70-80% of public sector employees, they are Southeasterners. They are Sierra Leoneans. So the government then not get problem with that because they are Sierra Leoneans. And if you come back now as a new government, you need 70% of this section and maybe the 30% of all that different tribes, you can fire them from the job. Fire clean now all. They begin promote the tribal card. Ain't not worth it. It not make sense. Only educated fools 90 days too. So now we continue.
All right, so
for talk to with people then. Me, I believe stay with people then. They not they for that tribal thing. Come 2023 election, you go no say salon people not they for tribal business. Mark my word. Now the politician and they go and promote all of this now. Come 2023.
All right, so Fambule will tap. Fambule will tap here. We'll turn up plenty. Thank you. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Talking point platform for news every day now we country alone for education, entertainment, political affairs, TV.